Señorita Sabrosura, and I'm back. I'm here today with Hector, the Shield Dude on a couch. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. And we're here today to review the new album from the band CULTS. The album is called To the Ghost. If you don't know CULTS, they're an American indie pop band from New York. Um, and I know they were a couple and they broke up their romantic relationship, but they have continued to make music together. I didn't even knew they were gonna put a new album until the last single. This album was released last Friday, July 26th. What do you think about the album on first listen?
Well, I didn't know about that they broke up and they need to work together. And my first impression of where you said that is that sucks. But hey, I co-parent, so it's kind of like working together.
Yeah,
Even though,
no, they broke up like a lot of years ago, and they have still continued to make music. But when they started, I think they met at college in New York, and both are from San Diego. But they moved to New York to study in college, so they met. They did the band. They were a couple, but they broke up. But they have been putting music.
they inspired by No Doubt. So yeah, I never heard of this band before. So you told me, let's talk about cults. I'm like, I don't know who they are, but yeah, let's. So yeah, I went fresh into listening to this band. And it's like you said, like a pop indie and some electronic. There's some parts that kind of reminded me of the band Churches.
Okay.
A little bit, but not the voice. But like I'm like, oh yeah, maybe they sound like them, where it's that like electronic, dancey type of stuff. So yeah, I never listened to it, so I went fresh ears. The first time I listened to it, I was driving with my car with my kids, and told me to put it out. I'm like, but yeah, they're when you think of them, like they're not the authority in music. Because, for example, they love the Troll soundtrack, which is basically Justin Timberlake. And this is just to prove how little they know of music. I'm putting the, and then I put Bye 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 by NSYNC, and they're like, oh, put it out, that's bad. I'm like, that's the guy from Trolls. And they're like, no, it's not. And then I'm like, why am I fighting with human beings who tend to lead because of me? So the cults didn't pass my kids' background. Unless the music would have been in Trolls, then they would have said it was the best thing ever. Gladly, I got to listen to the album in another time because they didn't let me listen to it. So at first listen, I thought, yeah, it's very pop oriented, chill, kind of happy go record, but it's not overly pop. There's like a little bit edge to it, and I think with writing.
Yeah, I think I really like the first album, their debut album. For me, that was their great masterpiece for them. The second album I enjoyed, and this one I enjoy it, but I think I have to be in the mood to listen to the album. I feel like they were going more pop, less indie. They still have like they're like elements of dreamy, and this album is like very reverb heavy, very art pop. They have been described their music like art pop. For me, it's like very happy and very chill. But I have to be in the mood. Like I don't always listen to this kind of music.
This is not something I usually listen to, but I can appreciate it as well because, like, just because you don't listen to that type of music a lot, it's not like you're gonna say, "Oh, it's crap." No, there's good. No. I think the production is pretty good, and her voice sometimes is pretty good. But there's a song that I found that it got annoying, and I think it's almost at the end. So I'm trying to remember which songs it is because I can't remember if it's Cells or You're in Love with Yourself. But there was one of the tracks I just got so peachy and like her voice annoyed me on that song. I can't remember which one it is right now.
You should have write it up.
Yeah, I should have written stuff down.
Yeah. Uh, but overall, the whole album felt like very easy listening, like breezy, like not heavy. But when I went back and the more listeners and reading the lyrics, like there's some darkness hidden in this happy music. And I read that they were inspired by David Lynch Twin Peaks movie.
I never saw that show.
Yeah, yeah, David Lynch is like very strange. It's like all his
I've
movies
seen his
are like a
movies.
dream. I'm sorry.
I've seen a lot of his movies.
They're strange. They're like a dream haze.
The Lost Highway soundtrack still rules.
Yes.
Mhm.
He always had good music in his. Uh, but this is a band that people like and people enjoy. Like when they first started, Lily Allen signed them to her record label, and they have collaborated to everybody with everybody. But I feel like they're going more pop and less indie, less rock, and with the electronic elements and everything.
Yeah, that's
So
why I said like churches. Uh,
so you don't remember um the song that annoys you? This one
it's almost at the end, but I didn't write it down. I
okay.
need to write stuff
But
down.
and then besides that, did you enjoy some of the tracks?
Yes, I think I enjoyed more the beginning of the album.
Okay.
Uh, like Cry Baby, it's kind of annoying, but it's annoying in a good way. Like and like the way that they do it. Left my keys. I could relate. Who can relate to your keys? Sometimes you're like, where are my keys? And you're holding them in your hand.
Yep.
So, and I thought Onions was pretty interesting. It had like different layers, and it's interesting because it's called
So
Onions.
onions, yes.
So I think the beginning of the records really starts strong, but then it's kind of turning to the same situation, like a lot of songs kind of sounded similar and
Yeah.
blended together. And that's when it kind of like went a little bit down for me. Not that I would say like any song was terribly bad. There's only one at the end, and I can't remember because I wrote it down. If it sells or you're in love with yourself, that had
Well,
a
if you remember after we put the video, just put it on the comments.
yes, I'll try. I'm like, which song was it? But it was toward the end.
Well,
Yeah.
for me, Cry Baby, I like it an opener, and I can relate with the lyrics. It's about losing sympathy with someone who spent a lot of their time complaining, like what when you're a friend of someone and but they're always complaining, you're gonna lose sympathy. It says,
Like the
well,
Olympics,
I'm sorry.
like what happened in the Olympics a few days.
I don't want to talk about that. But it's the lyric says, "So caught up in your misery, cry baby, you waste a lot of time. It seems." I think that line is great.
Yeah,
Like
that's a good line.
it happens to all of us. Like we try to have empathy, but some people, man, come on, stop complaining.
Yes,
And
like crying about Deadpool.
the other song I like too, it's Left My Keys, because it's like a very catchy melodic tune. It's a great song to sing along.
And to lose your keys.
Oh, I think I know what song you might hate it. Crystal. Crystal is a song I would have hated on the past because it's so perky, so happy.
Yeah,
But
but that's not the one that has the annoying like sound. It's almost at the end.
okay. Well, I like Crystal because I me in the past I would have hated totally. But here it's like very catchy. It has like a cool synth line. If a feel good sound. I also enjoy Onions, Eat It Cold. But yeah, I enjoy more the first part of the album.
Yeah, I think the song it sells. I don't think it's You're in Love with Yourself. I think it sells the one that had like a
Okay.
very pitchy, it almost sounded kind of like very whiny type of voice that really put me off. Because I'm thinking You're in Love with Yourself, I'm remembering now, and it had more like that cigarettes after sex type of feel.
Okay.
So I think it sells. So don't quote me on that, but I think it sells. So I'm gonna put a note. Write shit down.
So overall, well, how would you rate it? And
So yeah, I think it's an enjoyable pop record, like a pop electronic record. It's not something that I will listen to a lot, and I have to be also in the mood. Uh, my kids definitely thought it sucked. They're like, put that away, turn that off. But I would rate it. I think it's pretty solid. It's like a 7 out of 10. It's it's solid. It's not amazing, but it's also not bad. I haven't listened to their previous music, so I don't know what they sounded like. So I'm just rating them on this album alone. But yeah, it's a 7 out of 10 for me. There's some songs that I enjoy more than others, but it did get kind of repetitive at times uh, and kind of lost me a little bit sometimes. But yeah, it's not a bad record.
yeah, for me, it's not a bad record, it's not a bad album, but I felt like even though they went more pop, less indie, that they did not push any boundaries. They didn't do like something too memorable. It's catchy, it's happy, it's fun, but I have to be in the mood, and I didn't feel anything new, anything fresh from then. And I know listening to the other albums they could do better, and I saw them live last year, and they were great live. So I was expecting a little bit more, but it's not a bad record. So I would rate it to a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I think that's a solid, decent score.
Yeah. So what's next for you, Hector?
Well, next for me, I'm going to start writing shit down.
uh,
So,
we have a review tomorrow.
oh yes, we have a review tomorrow. That this
And
for the
that album we enjoy it. You have to check
we
that
yeah,
review.
it's the band is called Iris, and great band. So that will be tomorrow on my channel.
Yeah.
So that's coming up next. And I have this week, I have some interviews that are planned because I'll take a few days off. And this weekend is it that bad New Smashing Pumpkins. So that will be interesting.
That will be.
And Senorita, we were like, come on, join us. Join us. But like, no, it's a Sunday. It's early. But I'll be joined on that by probably it's gonna be Nick Sino, JC Rock and Metal Reviews, and Rock of All Ages. So
Old dudes, old bros.
all bros, like that's what
talking,
we'll.
talking bad about Billy Corgan. Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, we don't know because the album's not out, so like
Okay, maybe Mr. William Patrick will surprise you.
maybe we'll give it a thumbs up. So we don't know yet. But I am not going with any expectations.
Well, I'll be back soon with must have records on vinyl. And remember, you can always buy my merch at sabrosuracreativa.com. It's my new website, my new shop, and you can find a little bit of everything. Even for you guys, I have things for guys because they always do things for girls, but not for guys. So I'll have for everyone.
Awesome.
And then, well, thank you, Hector, for joining me. And remember tomorrow the review on Hector's channel, The Shield Dude on a Couch. And we'll see you soon. Thank you.
Bye.